Cam Newton and the Panthers beat the Lions 27-24 on the road yesterday to move to 4-1. Cam had 3 touchdown passes and threw for 355 yards. It was only the second time in his career he has thrown for over 300 yards in back-to-back games. Cam's great game came after he received heavy criticism last week for saying a question about pass routes from a female reporter was, quote, funny. We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Tony Gonzalez. Welcome, Tony. Good morning.
Huh? What's up? Huh? You know something? Do you notice something?
Skip, can you just do me one favor? When you know Tony, just wear a tie one time. Just one time.
What do you want
wears
from me?
ties.
Because, I mean, this...
What do you want from me, man? I always wear a T-shirt. I wore a collared shirt today.
But you didn't even put your shirt tail in. But that's okay.
It's that baby step, Skip. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there.
Skip, you know you go to
tucked in eventually.
You know how you go to these restaurants and you don't have a jacket and they just pull one out the bag so you can have a jacket?
Yeah.
It's like we just pull one
Getting it from
out
the
of
stock
wardrobe.
jackets and wardrobe.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You look nice, Tony.
By the way,
again.
You just made a good point in the break about how to avoid injuries, and you guys both taped your ankles. You spatted, as you call it.
I spatted I put spat on, I put knee sleeves, I did everything.
Okay.
Yeah, he wore everything. That's why
you think that would prevent Odell, maybe?
Well, that one, I mean, that was fault up underneath it. But a lot of these non-injuries, I'm seeing how many, when we were coming up, did we have Achilles? And all these ruptured Achilles?
In these non-contact Achilles. I didn't skip. I taped directly to my skin. I used moleskin directly to my skin and did the heavy-duty tape. And plus I had the nerves deadened in my ankles. So that played a role in it also because I got tired of the least little tweak in my ankles was flaring up and I was missing 2 or 3 days of practice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Skip, they're going to have to do some research. Maybe because the guys are not tackling or practicing enough during training camp or anything of that nature. But there has to be an uptick in injuries, especially the non-contact.
A lot of injuries yesterday. But talking about Cam, what did you learn about Cam this week?
Nothing. I think looking at Cam, this is who he is. This is who he's always been. He's a phenomenal football player. When he's playing like this, he's MVP of the league. He is up there in upper echelon, elite quarterback in the league. But the off-the-field stuff, we've seen this before. And what does he do? He's going to come out and say, I apologize. And I don't think Cam understands the consequences of his actions. He's not thinking ahead when he says something. And he plays that way, too. When he does the Superman sign, I was always, as a player, like, I don't want to show up another player because what do you think that message sends to them? When you say something in a conference, what do you have to think ahead? You have to think, how is this going to be received? But I will say this, and if put yourself in old Cam's shoes, it works. It works. Like, yes, he said what he wanted. He came out and apologized. Whether you believe the apology or not, do you say I was joking? I don't think he was joking. I think part of it was serious, but he made a mistake, said sorry, which is good. But then he comes out and plays this game, and talent trumps morals. People are going to be like, oh, it's okay, because he's throwing touchdowns, throwing 300 yards, and it's going to be fine. And it makes him money. He doesn't have to worry about money. I know Dannon dropped him. It's not about the money with him. It's not about the fame with him. But this is who this guy is. Like I said, he's a good guy, too. I've had a chance to talk to him. He's not a bad guy at all. But this is who he is. And why would he want to change? Put yourself in his shoes. Why would he want to change? It's always worked through college. You know what his history there, the Super Bowl stuff, this stuff. Doesn't matter. I think he's so I have not learned anything. This is who Cam is. Great football player, but doesn't really understand the consequences of his words and actions. And, maybe he will one day. I hope he does because he's the face of the franchise, face of the league.
He is.
Well, what I've learned is that while many thought he was washed up and what happened in the MVP season was an anomaly, it appears to me that Cam Newton is finally healthy and playing like the Cam Newton. His pedigree, you don't win a national championship at junior college and in college. Become the Heisman winner. Be the first pick in the draft. Be Rookie of the Year. Win an MVP. Take a team to the Super Bowl and at 28 step off a cliff. I believe for the majority of the last season and early this year, Cam Newton was healthy. I'm not saying, is he going to go out and play like this every single game? Nobody does. But I believe Cam Newton is a better quarterback than what he showed all of last year and what he showed early in this season. He can throw. He has no weakness. He can make every throw. Has a rocket arm. He can run. And as you mentioned, all the stuff off the field. He's charismatic, has a megawatt smile. He's engaging. He's personable. But he says things that puts him you don't see the problem with what you say. You don't think you don't understand why that would be a problem in you saying that.
He said last night he was giving her a compliment.
Right. Well, if you were giving her a compliment when she came to you, you should have said, I was trying to compliment you because you were female. And to hear a female talk about physicality and route running, that doesn't normally go together.
Apparently
so,
didn't tell her that.
Right. So if I offended you, I want to apologize. You
Did
don't
he say in his taped apology that he was trying to compliment her? No.
You should have just left it alone. You
Leave
wore
it
the
be.
pendant. What did you say the pendant
Rosie
was?
the Riveter.
Rosie, you wore the pendant. Leave it alone. Hey, you said what you said. You apologized. She's taking a leave of absence. I believe it's going to be hard for her to do this line of work when 70% of the guys that she's possibly going to interview are black. Made her job a lot more difficult. But Skip, when he's healthy and he's playing like this is a tough team to beat. Which brings me back again. How in the hell did they lose to New Orleans?
I don't know. That's a very good question because the game before New England at Carolina, they lose 34-13, and he has a QBR scale of 0 to 100 of 7. So he went from one of the worst games he's ever played against a defense that you said was on track to be historically bad, the Saints defense, to beating Tom Brady with a sensational MVP caliber performance in Foxborough, and then beating a quarterback known for comebacks in Matt Stafford in his house in Detroit with what you called earlier in the show, and I agree with you, that was the best game of Cam's career. But what's the stat that we threw out? Cam started off his crazy career with 2 400-yard game passing games, 2 back-to-back. What was it, 422 and 432 at Arizona, then against Aaron Rodgers at home. And I thought, silly me, I thought, wow, this guy's going to revolutionize football. And yesterday he threw back-to-back 300-yard passing game for the first time since the 2 400-yard games. So he's had a long dry spell in there of no 400-yard games. And you say, well, where did it come from? I don't know. He thrives on controversy. He got kicked out of Florida, and there was a big cloud swirling around him. He goes to Blinn Junior College, national championship. He goes to Auburn with the big cloud swirling around his father. Did he take the solicit payments from Mississippi State or whatever it was? And his father's kicked out of the national championship game, and Cam wins the national championship game and has to run up through the stands and go out of the building to go hug his father because his father is not allowed in the national championship game. That's playing under a cloud of controversy, wouldn't you say? And so now this happens, and he responds with what you believe, and I agree, was the greatest game of his career. And he wouldn't let it go. He wore the little button, the Rosie the Riveter button, going in yesterday, and then he brings it. He won't let go after the game. He says, actually, I was trying to give her a compliment. You were? So now everybody's got to talk about it again, so it didn't fade into the background. It's brought back to the forefront because I think he enjoys being in the eye of the storm.
It also tells you that Cam is very good at compartmentalizing because he mentioned,
I agree.
He said that although this was going on, I still had to get ready for a football game. I still had to come out for a game. And although it's still circulating, guess what? We're on a short week. We got Thursday, and we're playing a Philly team that's playing very, very well. So I still have to go about my business. Although all this is going on, and I know it's going on, but I still can stay and not look too far over here or not to look too far over there, but straight ahead. The Lions were in our path. We came here. We took care of business, but we're not out of danger yet. We got another game, and then we get 10 days off. I would be very surprised if I don't. Now, I'm not saying he's going to throw for 355 again like that, but I'd be very surprised if he didn't play well again.
And remember, he lost his favorite security blanket receiver, Greg Olsen, and now Ed Dixon comes out of nowhere.
Plays well.
Looks like Greg Olsen.
To the tight end. You know, the thing, he is so talented. Really, when you look at every quarterback in the league, if you stack them up and you had them do a combine, you'd be like, this is the best quarterback in the NFL by far.
Well, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers?
No, I'm just saying, just stacking them up, 6'5", 265, run your 40, bench your press, throw the ball as far as you can, do all the athleticism. There is really nobody better than him, athletically talented, and that is maybe what it is. Which I love what you're saying there, that he has to be motivated. Maybe it's the game is a little too easy. It's like Michael Jordan, supposedly, they said that he would make stuff up in his head. Maybe that's what he needs to do instead of putting his, doing it with his mouth. Like, do it with your mind. Just work yourself up, because when you play like this, it is a beautiful thing to watch. It's a lot of fun. It's unstoppable.
Because think about what he was going on his only year at Auburn. Once it came out, that was the storyline every single week. Did he or did he? Is he going to be eligible? Or is he not going to be? Is he going to be ineligible?
I mean, a lot of kids would crumble
Yes,
under that. Right?
every single week, and he got better and better. He falls down to at Alabama, what 14-0, 17-0,
Just blew him away.
comes back.
Tuscaloosa.
Yes, and
blew
then
him
you got
away.
the SEC championship game, and he blows them away. He wins the Heisman, and the dad can't come to the Heisman and all.
Well, maybe that's to Tony's point, you know? This is how it's always been for him, so why would he change it now?
I think he has a hard time keeping football at the top of the list for things. And you look at him, like the fashion and the other stuff going on. I think
Football is at Tony. I honestly think football is at the top of his list, but
too easy then.
Most quarterbacks they're not going to get into it. They just answer the question. He got in trouble when he laughed. If he had just laughed and answered the question, he laughed and then said it was funny because a female reporter had asked him about route.
Right.
He could have laughed and just no, I was thinking about something else. They'd have never known.
No.
But once he laughed and said it was because you are female and asking me about passing routes, that's not a normal
Right, but
question.
like he's not thinking ahead.
Real quick. Who wins a 40 right now between Aaron Rodgers and Cam Newton? Cam beats Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you loved Aaron
I
Rodgers.
do.
Huh? You see him run on 3rd and 8 yesterday?
Stop it.
I love my wife, but she's still a pain in the butt once in a while.
wow.
His wife can outrun him in a
Jerry
40.
talking about Toby that way.
I bet Toby
love you,
can outrun
Toby.
him in a 40.
Who?
His wife, Toby. Toby.
Oh, that's for sure.
You're not buying.
Yeah, because Tony doesn't work
Probably
out.
could.
I got the scoop on
Probably
Tony.
good. I do push-ups.
Thanks for joining us. What's wrong with the
Bye, Vicky.
Cowboys defense? We'll discuss that next.